Paul Mackenzie is a highly controversial preacher from Kenya whose teachings and actions have drawn widespread concern and condemnation. Some time ago, Mackenzie reportedly instructed more than 4,000 of his followers to engage in a prolonged fast with the belief that doing so would allow them to meet Jesus Christ. Shockingly, many of his followers complied with these instructions. Those who passed away during this process were quietly laid to rest in mass graves within the Shakahola area. Sadly, individuals who showed hesitation, attempted to stop the fast, or were found drinking water were allegedly subjected to severe punishment, with some reportedly losing their lives at the hands of enforcers he had appointed to ensure obedience to his directives. Beyond this, Mackenzie is said to have preached against formal education, modern medical treatments, and government identification systems, such as the Huduma number, labeling them as evil and ungodly. He strongly encouraged his followers to remove their children from school, destroy academic certificates, and completely reject medical care. According to his teachings, he claimed that medical professionals served a different God and that seeking treatment went against true faith. These extreme and dangerous teachings eventually attracted the attention of law enforcement agencies. Between 2017 and 2019, Mackenzie was arrested several times on allegations related to radicalization, promoting public disobedience, and placing children at risk through medical neglect. In 2023, after his activities were fully exposed to the public, the preacher was taken into custody and detained at Shimo-Latewa prison. This raises the question, who exactly is Pastor Paul Mackenzie? Join us as we take a deeper look into his story. Born in Lunga, Kwale County in 1973, with some records suggesting 1976, Paul Nathenge Mackenzie was the fifth of 10 children born to Mackenzie Kisini, a shop manager, and Anastasia Muele Mackenzie, a housewife. Raised near the Kenyan-Tanzanian border in a family of 7 boys and 3 girls, his early life was rooted in the evangelical traditions of the Africa Brotherhood Church. As a youth, Mackenzie was an active participant in his religious community, serving as a choir member, choir master, and Sunday school teacher, roles that foreshadowed his future ability to command an audience. His formal education was modest. He attended Mwalewa Primary School and later Luko Ray Secondary School, where he concluded his studies with a grade C in his final exams. Although rumors later circulated suggesting he held a theological degree from the United States, these claims were false. Mackenzie received no accredited theological training or higher education. Instead, after completing secondary school, he moved to Nairobi for vocational training as a driver. By the late 1990s, he had settled in the coastal town of Malindi, where he worked as a taxi driver and occasionally as a street hawker. Mackenzie's transition from blue-collar work to religious leadership began in the early 2000s. After initially preaching at a Baptist church, he founded the Good News International Ministries, GNIM, on August 17, 2003. Leveraging the growing influence of televangelism, he established Times TV, a broadcasting platform that allowed him to disseminate his sermons to a wider audience. His ministry was defined by increasingly extreme and isolationist doctrines. Mackenzie preached a vehement anti-establishment theology, declaring formal education, modern medicine, and government identification systems, such as the Huduma number, to be satanic and ungodly. His ministry was defined by increasingly extreme and isolationist doctrines. Mackenzie preached a vehement anti-establishment theology, declaring formal education, modern medicine, and government identification systems, such as the Huduma Namba, to be satanic and ungodly. He urged followers to withdraw their children from schools, burn academic certificates, and reject medical care, claiming that doctors served a different God. These radical teachings attracted the attention of law enforcement, leading to multiple arrests between 2017 and 2019 for radicalization, inciting public disobedience, and endangering children through medical neglect. Mackenzie's personal life was closely intertwined with his ministry. He married 3 times and fathered at least 7 children. His first wife, Agnes Mongeli, Mama Dan, whom he married by 2002, passed away in 2009. In 2012, he married Joyce Mwikamba, who served as a co-pastor in his church and was arrested alongside him in 2017. She died later that year, shortly after her release from custody. In 2019, he married his third wife, Rhoda Mambua Mawe, just before relocating his operations. Notably, despite his command that followers starve their children to meet Jesus, reports indicate that Mackenzie's own children were exempt from these rituals and were kept safe. In 2024, courts granted him supervised visitation with Rhoda to discuss their children's welfare. In 2019, claiming he had closed his ministry, Mackenzie moved his operations to a remote 800-acre property in the Shakahola Forest, Kilifi County. While he publicly postured as a farmer, he established a secluded commune where his apocalyptic teachings intensified. It was here that he orchestrated a mass starvation ritual, instructing over 400 followers to fast to death to meet Jesus. The devastating scale of this tragedy came to light in 2023. Survivors and witnesses later testified that strong men enforced the fasting, assaulting or killing those who hesitated or attempted to drink water. This event, now known as the Shakahola Massacre, shocked the nation and the world. As of late 2025, Paul Nthenge Mackenzie's era as a religious leader has ended in infamy. He remains in high-security custody at Shimo Letewa Prison. His assets, including the Shakahola farm and vehicles funded by followers who sold their property to support him, have been frozen or seized by the state. He is currently facing multiple simultaneous trials on charges of terrorism, child torture, manslaughter, 238 counts, and murder, 191 counts, specifically involving children. While in prison, he has staged hunger strikes alleging mistreatment and fear of poisoning, yet authorities have also investigated reports that he continued to exert influence over surviving followers from behind bars. His only conviction to date occurred in late 2023 for operating a film studio without a license, a minor footnote in a legacy defined by one of the deadliest cult tragedies in modern history.